Alright, so the new Melascula. Is she very good? Question mark. I just beat the big Bambi using Melascula, basically using her as a replacement for Green Arthur. And we're gonna take a look at the run here. This stage is very hard. Like, in general, like, this boss is very hard. I actually was trying to do this with Almatrona because I actually wanted to get a run with Almatrona. But having no buff removal is so annoying. I just cannot wait for, like, the next festival character. It should be like, oh man, imagine a Mael that, like, he can attack and it counts as any typing. So he can do the wheel for you without no stress. Oh, that'd be so good. But yeah, this Melascula, I basically used her as an Arthur replacement. I am basically copying Bati Sensei. He did this like day one. Melascula came out and he beat the big Bambi with Melascula with this. I was like, what the hell? It was like 2 hours later, I think. He was already done. I was like, whoa, relax, buddy. I'm basically copying him. But, I mean, it works well. There's like benefits to using Melascula over Arthur, I think so. So basically, I'm using her as a stat buffer. She buffs all ally stats of 20% of her lifesteal up to 20%. And you can't be ignited, which the boss does ignite you. And is it only the second stage? I'm gonna have to confirm that. But yeah, he does ignite you. It's not very often though. It's not very often at all. But yeah, she cocks the ignites as well. But yeah, she's basically going to be a stat buffer. She's basically giving every unit 20% basic stats. So all your characters go actually 20% attack, defense, HP. It's I don't know. I don't want to say it's much better than using Arthur. I do think, just by feeling, my characters were being just as good damage-wise as if I was using Arthur, because Arthur increases your damage by 35%, but damage increase in this game is so wacky, so like weird, that I wouldn't doubt that she like 20% attack buff is like much better than actually 35% damage increase, and like the 20% defense and HP could be better than 35% damage reduction. That I'm not so sure though, because damage reduction stacked with Melee's damage reduction might actually be better. But the one thing I'm gonna say, in like, I think Arthur is a bit better than this Melascula, only because characters with only one attack card are a nightmare to use on this stage. Like, legitimately, I hate Matrona for this stage. Like, obviously Matrona is goated. She removes buffs. She has taunt. She of course she has passive healing. But having a character that has only one attack card is so goddamn annoying for the third floor, because you end up in situations where you need that card for that character so you can actually progress through the wheel, right? And you just don't pull it because you have a 50-50 between that character getting the buff card, which in Melascula's case is the shield, or Matrona's case is like the taunt, or the actual attack card. And having two characters like that on my team is just so stressful. Like, there in floor 3, when we get there, you're gonna see, like, there was one moment, like, if I had a Melascula card, I would have just been done, but I had to take like 2 extra turns that I could have lost because I just couldn't pull her cards. I just couldn't pull her card, her attack card. So that was very annoying. So that I'm gonna say about Melascula. Her ultimate is a bit weaker, although the heal with the ultimate is quite nice. Damage-wise, Arthur is obviously gonna hit harder, and for majority of you, like, Green Arthur is a bit old at this point, so you definitely, I don't want to say definitely, right, but you probably has pulled him with a few dupes here and there, so it's more likely that you're gonna have dupes for him than this new Melascula unit, right? Also, in this run, a lot of people ask, oh, do I need like Ascanor 6-6 to beat the third floor? I actually did not have Ascanor ult the last phase on the last floor, because I actually got pretty unlucky with my cards. Like I said, like, if Melascula had got a green card, I actually would have been able to. When we get there, I'm going to explain, but all you need, honestly, with the one, and the one is a major piece of like beating this stage, I feel like. But like, he's so good. He's so good. Because his ultimate hits twice, which is really good, but also his cards, having 2 single target attack cards that hit decently hard, is quite nice. But yeah, the MELASCULA only having 1 attack card is pretty annoying. But taking off ultimate gauge is not the worst. And the shield is good. There's a moment on the second phase, on the first floor. I don't know if you noticed, because I'm trying to like talk with the gameplay. I have to speed up the gameplay, because this took like 35 minutes. Like, I need to speed up, right? Like, the shield can tank some debuff cards, and your characters not get debuffed, right? So that's actually very good. Is it, again, better than having 2 attack cards because of how the stage works, and how, you know, just very annoying it is when you just don't pull the card that you need, and the stage keeps like, okay, you need to use the green card, you need to use the green card, and it's like, I don't have a green card, god damn it, I'm not pulling her card, so it's kind of annoying. With Arthur, it's not nearly as big of an issue because he has 2 attack cards, although it is still a big issue. Like, just in general, this stage is, like, if you think the bird is RNG based, it's like, having this whole, you need the specific type is terrible. And I mean, yeah, like, it's still beatable, obviously. I've seen free-to-play players that have been beating the stage, and it's like, yeah, it's not like impossible, right? It's just, sometimes it gets very frustrating when you're having like a very good run, and then you lose on like the last turn because you're just not pulling the typing of the card that you need. It's very frustrating. But in general, I mean, this boss, I actually want to say that it's in like on paper easier than the bird. It's just more RNG based. Like, if you get lucky on this stage, you'll beat it much easier than if you get lucky on the bird. But if you get very unlucky on this stage, it's harder to beat than if you get very unlucky on the bird. Obviously, if you get very unlucky on both, both are going to be terrible, right, for you. But yeah, this stage, we're definitely going to be getting some characters for it. Like, I am thinking the next festival character is going to be a character that's going to be good for the stage, because they clearly know at this point that the only difficult activity in the game are these like demon boss battles, right? Like, PvP, not that PvP is easy, but I mean, I've done it. Like, I created like a free-to-play account, and in a week I got champ. It's like, as long as you're consistent in the game, you can maintain yourself in champ in PvP, and if you get champ once, you don't go back down. On ungeared, I feel like geared is more towards like end game players. Like, ungeared is the real PvP for I think majority of players, because it's where you get the gems, right? And this is the only like real difficult activity in the game, right? So they clearly made Meliodas in mind for the bird, not for this stage. I think Meliodas, they didn't actually think he was going to be good for this stage, because they made the whole typing thing, and Meliodas can't like contribute to it. He just ends up being good for it because of how stupid he is with the damage reduction. I think the damage reduction is like, they didn't know what they were doing. Like, they clearly also meant that for the bird, right? The damage reduction is just so good. They clearly weren't like actually thinking of making him like the unit for it, and they're probably gonna release like a festival character soon. That's gonna be like stupid, and it's gonna be actually working like super well with the stage, and it could be like the new Elizabeth that's been leaked. Honestly, I just want a character to replace Matrona. I think Matrona is very good. She's obviously amazing, the passive heal, but if we can get an Elizabeth that's like, you know, Elizabeth, Maya, whatever, but I think Elizabeth would actually fit the role very well. That would like have passive healing and have like she can attack and her attack counts as any attribute. That would be insane. So right here, I actually got a passive that he has where every single phase that you progress, you lose 2 ultimate gauge. So here, I actually was thinking, should I reset to see if I get a different like rule? But honestly, I prefer this one much better to the revive rule that he has, so I went on with it. So on the last stage, you're gonna see like I don't actually like, I'm not like able to like ult with the 1, on the last phase, which is how I actually beat it for the first time and second time. So I end up actually having to resort with killing him with attack cards. And it still works, like, so long as your characters are very strong, like you have UR gear, you know, good rolls on the UR gear, and you get lucky with crits, obviously. You don't need, like, the 166. Again, in this run, I don't rely on him having the ultimate, and it works out regardless. So, again, the shield is decent. I think that the shield actually did help me here on the last phase. But again, it's like, is it better having the shield or having the 35% damage reduction? Because 20% defense is meaningless. 20% defense is negligible. Defense in the game, not that it's pointless, but it's not very great. As a stat, defense is not very great. Defense-related stats is good. If you have a lot of resistance and crit resistance and crit defense, that means a lot. But extra, like, defense doesn't mean that much. It does still mean something, but it doesn't mean that much. Having the actual 20% HP, though, is where I think, oh, this Melascula has a point, you know? It's either like, oh, do you want to have actual 20% HP, or do you want to have 35% damage reduction? Honestly, from now on, when beating this stage, I'm not going to use Melascula, personally. I think that the Arthur having the damage reduction, plus having 2 attack cards, it's just so much better for me. I actually made a mistake here. I used the melee card just in case I don't actually kill, but I should have just trusted the one. The one is just... It's too good, man. It's too good. It's funny, because, like, before... When the bird, like, before the bird came out, I was signing the one as, like, okay, the one had its time, you know, he's old now, new units have come out, he is long gone from his days of being, like, a fantastic unit. But I don't know, man, his Holy Relic sucks ass, but he himself is so good for, like, these demonic beast battles. I'm trying to find the name. That, like, he still, like, remains at the top of the game for me. The one that made I don't want to say comeback, because he honestly never left. He honestly never, like, really went down. He was, you know, going down as time was going on, but, like, I guess this is why they gave him, like, a garbage Holy Relic, because they knew, like, the one, if he had, like, a really good Holy Relic, imagine if the one had a Holy Relic, like, he ignores 30% defense-related stats, like, on the whole game. He would actually be the best unit in the game. He'd actually be the best unit in the game. I guess they didn't want that. They already knew, like, even if they give him a garbage relic, he'll still be good. I don't know, he's fantastic. I mean, this is why I really want to kneel the one, right? Having the Flood ultimate, but it's like, not the Flood ultimate, having the Death ultimate, but it's like, they really gave him, like, a garbage Holy Relic, and the one would also have a garbage Holy Relic with the same Holy Relic. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, I think that this stage, Melascula is definitely not the answer. If you were struggling with the stage, having Melascula won't make it easier. It just won't. Playing out, it won't. Like, I guess the Ignite thing is cool for when he stands. I don't know. It's just not really it, honestly. In comparison, again, you'd have to replace a green character. You need to bring a green character. So in comparison with the green character that I would suggest, which is Arthur, or Brynhilde, actually. If you don't have Matrona, obviously you can do the Brynhilde strategy with ult rushing. But in comparison to those two, especially Arthur, I definitely don't see her being better. It's not bad though. It's a good option. It's not better. Here I was stressed because, like, okay, one thing I want to say, right? The damage reduction from Arthur allowed my Matrona to take 0 damage from his attack cards. 0 damage. That meant that he couldn't, like, delete my Matrona cards, right? With Melascula, he does do damage because I don't have that 35%. So that's annoying. Like, I was stressed here because I didn't have any Matrona cards, and if I go to the second phase, the fourth phase, with no Matrona cards, I lost, right? So I'm, like, kind of like, I need to, like, waste as many cards as I can so that I can actually go to the next phase with, and potentially, like, get one new Matrona card. And I need to go with a Melascula card, obviously. But I was thinking, oh, I can't go with the ultimate. Not actually remembering that I actually lose ultimate gauge. So that was a bad play here by me. But I knew I was gonna kill anyways. So yeah, I get the Matrona card, but he's gonna delete it. And again, like, if I had Arthur, he wouldn't delete it. Like, he just wouldn't, because he wouldn't do damage. So, something to keep in mind, right? So yeah, I go with the ultimate here. I think I try to, like, make sure that he dies, so no, I don't attack with Melios. I'm confident in Melascula then. I actually don't remember. I did this, like, 2 hours ago. I already forgot what happens. Oh yeah, I trusted that Melascula was gonna kill and she didn't. 6-6 by the way. Arthur would have killed. Arthur would have killed. Mainly because his ultimate hits harder. But it's just, what can I say? I mean, if she killed, I would have lost, to be fair. Because I didn't get any Matrona cards. Which wouldn't be a problem if I had Arthur. I don't know. I don't know. Not saying that she's bad. I think she's not bad. Bro, can I kill him? Jesus. I would have lost if I actually killed, though. I actually would have lost if I killed. Because I would have gone to the next phase with no Arthur, with no Matrona card. Although I am aware, like I have the one's ultimate here. I'm not using it because I don't want to lose 5 ultimate gauge. I will lose 2 ultimate gauge when I go to the next phase, though. So I'm gonna lose that ultimate and gain like a slot potentially for Matrona. So I got the Matrona card. I go with this and hope that actually he doesn't remove my ultimate gauge in the next turn. As I mentioned, I don't actually end up using the one's ultimate in this whole run. On this whole phase, I mean. I do end up on the run, right? But so he actually does end up taking off ultimate gauge, which is expected. He removes... The only times that he doesn't remove ultimate gauge are the times you're like, okay, I won. It's when you get so lucky that you're basically guaranteed to win. But he will most likely remove your ultimate gauge. It's just every time for me. Because I was actually... Speedy had not beaten the deer until like... I think it was yesterday. Or the phase 3 of the deer, right? Or stage 3, floor 3, whatever. And I was actually coaching him. I was backseat gaming him. He was like streaming for me, and I was like, okay, do this, do this, do this. And until he got lucky, because I mean, again, like, it's not like Speedy's a bad player, right? He has the units, he has the UR gear. He just had not gotten lucky yet. So every time that he had attempted the deer, he got extremely cocked. And like when I was watching him play, he was getting cocked until he had a turn that the deer did not take off his ultimate gauge. And I was like, oh yeah, you won. That's it. There's no comeback. Okay. All right. So here, right? Here is where it starts getting frisky. I want to have the one ultimate so I can actually kill him, because if he drops below 20 and doesn't die, he full heals, right? And at that point, you lost. But if I ultimate, look at the one almost dying here. At that point, you know, if he's like that low on HP and blue is doing extra damage, I am killing, right? So with the one ultimate, so I'm not worried. The issue is, I actually have, next turn you're gonna see, I actually have a turn where he doesn't take off my ultimate gauge, and I have the one's ultimate ready to go. Issue was, I pulled no Melascula card. So, my Dawn ultimate wouldn't do any extra damage. And I end up not being able to like actually use it. Big annoyance actually. Here I do end up I think I go with like the melee cards. Because I actually just want to waste it. Yeah, I need space. I need the Melascula card. Like, I need the Melascula card. If I don't get the Melascula card, I lose, right? Because I need the rotation to go back to the one. I need blue to do this. So I'm willing to, like, get cocked by the corrosion and just hope the one doesn't die. It's not as bad. Like, I've never had the one get so low when using Arthur. To be honest, like, again, I'm not trying to, like, I'm just speaking the facts, right? When I'm doing this with Arthur, I've never had the one get so low without being single targeted that much, because I've been getting very lucky. I'm getting, like, heavy taunts for Matrona. Like, these taunts are so clutch. A lot of times when I'm doing this, I don't get a taunt, so the one ends up being targeted because he targets the one if there's no taunt, right? And like, every time I've done this, so long as Matrona has a taunt, my the one is chilling. But here, I'm taunting, I'm good. I had like one turn where he actually single targeted the one, and like my the one almost dies here. It's like, I don't know. I think that the 35% damage reduction is like superior to the okay, so here's the turn, right? I have Naga as single MELASCULA card this whole time, as you can see. It is very limiting because I can't just pop in as many cards as I want, obviously. So I don't have as much space. But I end up being like, okay, I'm gonna try to like get him low and then ult, right? So I'm going to level 3 and ult. And if he ends up full healing, I'm gonna reset again, right? So I do 100k at level 3 and he full heals. Boom. So I reset the game, right? I reset the game, so he goes back one turn. So I go, okay, I want to see how much damage the one's ultimate is gonna actually do, because he needs to do like 200. It's like 220 something k. Should be like 20% of his health, I think, something like that. So I want to see how much damage the one's ultimate is gonna actually do. And then I ult. He does under 200k, and I have to reset the game. What I should have actually done is, so one thing about resetting the game and going back a turn is that if you don't crit, if you reset the game, if you do the same attacks again, you're still not going to crit. Like, that chance of critting is already determined. Like, the fact you're going to crit is already determined before the cards actually hit, right? So if you do the exact same cards again, it's not going to crit. So what I should have actually done is I should have actually removed his buffs, right? Attack with the ones level 2, not dropping below 20, and then ult and hope I crit, because then I would have actually killed. I was like, okay, let me just, I'm gonna go, I'm ult here with Matrona, but it's not gonna drop below 20. Let's hope I get a MELASCULA card at some point, so I can actually use. And again, I got a MELASCULA card, but it was a shield, which is pointless for me. It's like the shield is not bad. Again, the shield is okay. But at this point in time, like, I don't care about a shield. I want an attack card so I can continue my rotation. It's like, and that's where having a character that only has one attack card is extremely frustrating. And until we get a character, like I said, that can attack however he wants, it's gonna be like that. So I got the MELASCULA card, and I'm like, okay, what I need to do here is I gotta attack with MELASCULA. I gotta remove the buffs with Matrona first, attack with MELASCULA, and hope the one crits and kills with the Flood card, right? Problem is, the one doesn't have the most HP, alright? But, we have to see. We have to see. See if I drop him, like, low enough that the one's crit will kill. I was actually expecting my units to do a little more damage, so I didn't drop him enough. I didn't crit, so I had to reset the game. Boom. It ends up doing, like, this ends up happening a lot. We have to reset the game. So I did, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to get him lower. Because I don't think, I couldn't get him low enough to the point where I would kill with the Flood. Because my character was just so low in HP, right? So the Flood wouldn't hit as hard. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do one more rotation, see if I get him like that. What I really wanted was more melee cards, so I can do a melee single target, so I can do like decent damage, and then do the Flood with Ascanor. That's what I was going for, so thankfully I did get the single target. Again, it's like, it's not like MELASCULA is hindering my team, it's just the stage itself is so annoying. With this whole like typing thing. The whole typing, I do think it's a good idea though. Like, even though I'm like saying it's annoying, it's very original. I do actually like the fact that they went out of their way to make the stage like very different. But goddamn, this is an annoying way of making it different, isn't it? It's so annoying. Here, bro, if the shield was a bit stronger, I actually would have not been taking away the ultimate gauge, but then he attacked again, so it didn't even matter. Actually, again, if the shield was a bit stronger, like, and he only attacked once, I actually would have been able to ult. But This is what it is. So I go for, again, doing the melee attack. I was like, okay, Mela's gonna have 3 buffs. I should get him low enough that the Flood will kill. Melee gets... Oh, he does a lot of damage. 150 with only 3 buffs. And Askander kills. Again, it's like... This stage, man. This stage is no joke. It's no joke. The big Bambi is no joke. The RNG and everything like that is no joke. But Melescula's not bad. I would say personally, I think Arthur is better. Just because of the 2 attack cards. And already having a character that only has 1 attack card is frustrating. So, maybe in the future, Melescula might be better. If you don't have like 2 characters, only have 1 card, it might be.